Okay, today I'm at Peter and Paul's Men's Shelter talking with Michael Stout, resident of Peter and Paul's Transitional Housing Program. Hello, Mike. How are you today?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Thanks for joining us today, man. Man, you on fire.
That's right.
Mike is one of the players on Peter and Paul's street soccer team, the Roadies, who just recently returned from tournament play in San Francisco. We also just learned that Mike has been selected to play on an international team and will soon be headed to Amsterdam.
That's right.
Wow, man. What is that like, man? Tell us a little something about the team and everything. We're going to get into other stuff too, but I'm kind of excited about what's going on, with this. So tell me a little something about the team.
St. Louis Roadies is a street soccer team. Know a little bit of something about street soccer. It's a social change program to help deal with homelessness and addiction, and it's across the world. Okay. It's huge, and street soccer is shown to have about a 75% success rate in helping people leave homelessness, leave addiction behind, and it really helps them generate social skills, like working with a team, being able to enter back into society with the skills that you need in order to interact. So it's huge, and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I'm going to come out and see you guys play, the next time you play over there. I've even trying to bring a lot of other people to come, and support you guys, because I think this is really great.
It's brand new. It's only like 9 or 10 years old here in the United States.
Yeah.
And so it's still in its kind of infant stages.
So it's been around before it got here?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just not getting here, huh?
It's just now kind of getting into the United States, and it's having a huge impact.
That's great, man. That's really great. Mike, you joined the program in 2013, one of the most outstanding and successful clients in the shelter. Tell us how your journey began.
I spent 15 years addicted to drugs and alcohol, and just finally, back in October of 2013, I just had enough. I was done. I wanted something better with my life. I wanted something different. I didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So what I did was I contacted Salvation Army Harbor Light, and they gave me a bed, and that started it. I just knew that I was dedicated to getting my life back, and I didn't know where I'd go. I figured I would just rely on the resources that would become available to me at the time. Yeah. And that led me here to Peter and Paul. When I left Harbor Light, I came here, and I just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
That's it. I just hit the ground running.
So, Mike, tell me, have you found the structure of the transitional housing program to have the adequacy, the resources, and the support that promotes the success of its clients?
I will be honest, I don't think I could have accomplished the things I've accomplished without it. Okay. I really don't. Now, I'm not saying that I would be stuck without it, but I mean, it has definitely given me the breathing room and the ability to go out and accomplish the things that I need to accomplish, like get money in my bank account, further myself along in my job that I've got, and meet the people that I've met along the way. It's a huge part to being accepted. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to put it all into words, but man, I don't think I could have done it with.
You met some great people, haven't you?
I have.
I know it, man. That's one of the things I like about working with this community. I've seen a lot of people come through, a lot of personalities, a lot of great folks. And it's just great working here.
And I tell you, one of the biggest impacts I have is watching the people come in month after month that dedicate their time and their energy to the shelter, to the people that are in the shelter.
That's great, man.
It fills my heart with joy that there's hope.
You know, that's why I get so upset when we have bad guys in that act a fool in front of volunteers, you know, and they don't appreciate what they do, man, you know, because they actually go out and shop for the food, you know. They sit and prepare the food. They make the phone calls to get other people involved, you know, and all they see is the food coming in the door, but it took a whole lot to get that done, you know, and so, you know, we have to appreciate those folks too. Clean and sober, how long you say?
October 17th is my clean date of 2013, so I don't do the math all the time.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm right at 23 months, a little
Okay.
over 23 months now, huh?
That's what's up. Yeah.
In fact, I think I'll be celebrating my 1 year over in Amsterdam, which is kind of, or my 2 years over in Amsterdam. It's kind of
So, Mike,
ironic.
you also help support others who are recovering from substance abuse. Can you elaborate on this and your role in that?
You know, I think it's more through just my presence,
Yeah.
more than anything that I can say or do.
Yeah.
You know, and in fact, it seems the ones that are closest to me that see it, they don't really catch on. So my words really don't have the impact that somebody else's words might, as far as like them saying, hey, check out Mike. He's been clean and sober for, you know, a year and a half now. This is the things that he's accomplished. You know, it seems like it has more of an effect when other people talk about it than when I talk about it. So I think it's just
That happens, you know.
Presence.
So, community collaborative. What do you think? Have the elements of the program been enlightening and somewhat essential to that program?
You know, I've got kind of mixed feelings about it. It's an excellent idea, and when it's working, when everything's kind of clicking, I think it has a good effect.
Yeah.
But there's times when it's just not quite working, that it just feels like something's missing out of the experience. But you know, for overall, it definitely has a good impact. It gives me something to fill that time with that's constructive.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
I've always seen you as one who regularly attends with the transitional housing program here ending soon. Do you think the collaborative should maybe extend out to the 90-day shelter clients, and would you think they benefit any from it?
I definitely think it would, but I also think that it needs to be selective with who goes, because like you said, there's some clients down there that really don't have the respect that, you know, that they should have in order to be able to experience and see exactly what goes on for everybody, for the shelter to click and to make it possible for them to have a bed, to have something to eat that night. You know, I don't think the ones that disrespect that should be allowed. I think that would do more harm than good. But there's definitely quite a few people down there that could benefit from that experience. Most definitely.
You know, Tom Burnham, who is the director of the shelter, he asked me a couple of weeks ago, he said, do you know anyone, you know, who's got their head together? You know, there's pretty much a shelter success story right now that wouldn't mind coming, you know, to one of the art classes, you know. And I said, I'll look around, you know, and it's been 3 weeks. I'm not saying that, you know, the shelters are bad. You know, it's bad. It's not a good program because we serve a lot of people. We help a lot of folks, you know, but I don't know. I guess I'm thinking, you know, 90 days is not enough time, you know, to get somebody grounded, you know, to that point. What do you think?
Well, it seems like there's a dynamic that's going on within the groups of people down there that is kind of like I hate to use a cliche, but it's like a penitentiary mindset, to where they feel obligated to each other to hold up some sort of
Code, maybe.
code that they've got going on, and if they break that code, they're going to be violating. And you understand what I'm saying?
Feel you.
And in order to be successful and get out of this rut that we were in, you pretty much have to face up and understand that, man, I went wrong somewhere, and I just don't get it. So I need the influence of the people that do get it, and to understand. I need to be able to understand what they understand, and to be able to do that, you can't do that and then hold some kind of bond or some kind of underlying contract with somebody else down in the shelter.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not like you can't. You've got to break that creed in order to let the things in that need to come in to cure what's going on inside. That's one of the things that I knew right off the bat. When I was finally done, I'm like, listen, I don't understand. I went wrong, and I need help right now. So I am going to go to the people that have their shit together, and I'm going to ask, man, what do I need? What's going on? I'm open to suggestions. And from there, it just poured in. And I was able to put the pieces together inside myself to where I could get up and go.
So would you say that one of the biggest things the biggest mistakes people make is when they come here, they think they already got it together,
No doubt
they got
about
the
it.
answer already, and I'm like, if you had all the answers, you wouldn't be, showing up here asking us, we're in the business of helping people, and if you don't want to hear us, then why are you here,
That's right. That's right. So you'll see that revolving door. And I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again, and in the almost 2 years that I've been here, it's a revolving door for those people. They steadily keep coming back.
And I talk about the same thing among the other staff here. We see the same thing. Every other 90 days, the same person is coming back. We have guys in the shelter now are asking questions. When is my last day? And then we tell them their last day. They say, when can I come back after that? So they already planning on coming back.
That's right.
And I'm like, what did you do for the last 90 days? To make your situation better. To where you won't have to come back. And then sometimes I see guys that come in here and they be, oh, Dre, how you doing, man? It's glad to see you again, man. I say, it's glad to see you too, but not here. I don't want to see you come back here. I want to see you take this time and use it to where you never have to see a place like this again. So, Mike, where you headed? Life after Peter and Paul. What's the plan, man?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is find an apartment, and I just got a raise in my job.
That's what's happening, man. That's good.
Yeah, the guy I work for is just fantastic. He's got my back. He understands everything that I'm in. He understands all the things that I do.
Okay.
And he knows where I'm at, where I want to go. So I'm just gonna keep on saving money.
Yeah, that's great to have that support too, man. On the job, man. You don't get many bosses like that.
That's right.
They don't really care.
That's right. Well, when I started working for him, man, I busted my ass for him.
Yeah.
I worked hard for him, and
you know what, Mike? That's something in the last couple of years I've noticed about you. It wasn't always easy for you. You didn't just walk in and say, hey, I'm going to be successful with the program. I know you had to go through some shit. I know it took a minute, to get it right. So let me ask you this. It's a tough one, dude. What would you do to help end homelessness?
Wow. But that's a tough question.
Yeah, I ask myself that one every morning. And I figure, if I got to ask myself this every morning, I'm going to ask just about everybody I come in contact with. We need help with it, man. It ain't an easy task, so we need all the ideas we can get.
Well, it seems to me that as long as we live in a monetary-based system with just 1% of the population that controls a huge percent of that money, that this is going to keep on going. It seems to me like it's a big game of musical chairs, and no matter what, there's always going to be somebody left without a chair, just as long as we continue in the system that we've got. It just seems that it's just so lopsided right now that in order to cure this, that there's going to have to be a huge change in the system that we actually live under.
Yeah.
And the monetary system is the most important of all the systems that we have.
Yeah.
So until that system kind of changes,
Yeah.
and until the greed kind of subsides a little bit, I think this is inevitable. I really do. It's kind of sad to say.
It's kind of sad because in the system you just described, homelessness is a necessity.
Yeah.
It's part of that game.
It's built into the system.
So it's a requirement. We have to have homeless people.
Yeah.
As long as we living in this particular system.
That's correct.
It sucks. It does. It's really fucked up.
No doubt about it. And in St. Louis, it's got its own special little contribution, because back in the 50s it was segregated so bad. I mean, it was just so lopsided to where, all the poor people, all the black people, they were congregated into one
area.
section.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where they were herded. And here, 50 years later, you've got, a huge compression cell just ready to explode.
Exactly. I attended the Peace Fest in Forest Park yesterday, man. It was great. We got to stop the killing. We do.
No doubt about it.
This stuff is nonsense. I came away from there with a whole new perspective. I want to know, what can I do to help? How can I help this? So I've been on my blog, all day. I've been on Facebook all day in my little groups, updating, what I experienced yesterday and trying to get people to wake up, man. It's not just the killing, what can we all do to make this world a better place? You know what I'm saying?
Education, I think.
Yeah, that's what I always say, because awareness, that's the key. That is the key, awareness, because it's most people, when it comes to homelessness, they got grave misconception about what homelessness is. They still, the majority of people still thinking that all the people that's homeless are bums, or drug addicts or alcoholics. I see people every day, that there's a guy out here now, he hasn't had a beer in his life, never, and he's 40 years old, never smoked pot, never did any of this stuff,
just wasn't very good at playing Monopoly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was about, and lately we've been getting guys in here, man, with families. They were family, until they moved in here. His wife's across town at another shelter with the daughter. She's got to get to school. They don't know how they're going to do that. They don't have bus fare to meet up with each other, unless they go to the bridge. So a lot of people don't want to go down there, and then they both got to find a way to get back to their respective shelters at the end of the day. So homelessness is breaking up families, and one of the guys I talked to, he's working full-time, she's working full-time. It's just like you said, they just bad at playing Monopoly.
That's right.
And they wind up in places like this, so. Anything you want to say, brother? You have the floor.
Man, I really want to thank Peter and Paul, the Salvation Army, Street Soccer USA, Keith Deisner, Tom Burnham, Dan, you. Man, you guys have really played a huge part in saving my life, and that's the truth.
That's good to hear, man.
No doubt about it. All the volunteers that come in here and bring food and just want to give themselves, even if they don't know how. They really go out there and try hard to interact with the people. That warms my heart. It gives me a good. That helps me get up in the morning and go out and face the world and keep working hard. That's about all I get. I'm not good at talking about myself.
That's all right. I'm going to talk some more about you later on in the show anyway. So, Mike, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I wish you well, my friend, and safe travels, man. Anything I can do, man, holler at me, man.
I will.
I'm going to be here until they kick me out. We're going to exchange numbers, man.
All right.
I'll hear from you every now and then, okay?
All right.
All right, thanks a lot.